Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breese Stadium, Monument, Colorado. Nick Archuleta and Coach G bringing you all the action. Round 2 4A football playoffs. Coach G, we've had a good first half of football.
Oh, what a joy. What a pleasure it is to be up here in the bird's nest at Don Breese Stadium. Monument, Colorado is just shining today. Beautiful day, but the wind has really played into some of the action out on the field, whether it's the punts, the high, long passes, all sorts of action. This wind and the breeze here at Don Breese is really having something to say about who's going to finish with the W today. Palmer Ridge got down 7 early. 14 unanswered for the Bears. That's their modus operandi. They're not afraid to get down early because they know they can score in bunches. It'll be up to Pueblo West to see what they can do with this opening kickoff, right? They did a good job of 3 and out in the Bears in the first quarter. Now it's going to be their job to take that ball and see if they can control the clock so that they can control the game. It's going to be about control.
Yeah, and nothing's impossible for them as they started the game with the 7-0 lead. And they, like you said, did a great job of controlling the Bears. A couple of mistakes are really all that caused this to be just a one-score game right now. And like you said, you throw away what happened in the first matchup, and this is a whole new game, whole new season. It's playoff football.
It's November, baby. I mean, whatever happened in September and October, that's great. But once November comes around, you got to be ready, like Hester, to dive from the 3-yard line, to go get that touchdown, knowing that, boy, I mean, 8 feet isn't going to get me in there, but if 9 feet, that'll get me in there. And that's the difference in this game right now, is a big effort play by Hester getting into the end zone. Although that being said, he did throw that interception early, so great job by Hester to not let the interception in the red zone rattle him from the previous trip down there, and really with time crunching and with the pocket closing down and with everything kind of going sideways, Hester did such a great job of getting that play, taking care of the ball, and being in control. And I'm going to mention that a lot in the second half. That was kind of my key to the game. Who stays in better control? Emotional control, right? Physical control, no penalties, no silly stuff like that, and just control of the ball, control of the defense you're trying to move around if you're the MMC, or the offense you're trying to control with your play actions and whatnot. The team that is in the best control over these next 24 minutes is going to go next week to play the Erie Tigers.
And it's been a great game so far. Like you said, clean game. We've had 2 penalties. No, it was just the 1 penalty. The roughing the passer penalty was really all we had. The other 2 penalties were waved off. At the coin toss,
it's been clean. It's
Pueblo
been a nice
West
game.
Deferred to the second half, so they'll receive the ball here.
Yeah, I literally think 1 penalty on each team. There was the holding on the end-around play for Pueblo West.
Oh, that's right.
And there was the roughing the passer. Everything else got wiped off. 1 interception for the Bears, 1 interception for the Cyclones. Rushing touchdown for the Bears, rushing touchdown for the Cyclones. I mean, this game is looking like pretty much spit and image except for that last 90 seconds, that drive that Coach Grove was able to put together with those quick passes, getting out of bounds.
And both sides, this is the kind of football you want in a playoff game. You want something that where you push yourself, you earn that championship, you earn that next game. You show everybody what you're made of, but at the same time, your opponent still showed that they've got the skill and the ability as well.
No shortage of skill out here by either one of these teams. It's really going to come down to control. Who's the one that's in best control of their attitude, their effort, their physicality?
Just wait for the last member of the chain gang to get over with the crew.
And it's going to come down to execution, right? We all got ideas. We all got plans on what we think this should look like, but it comes down to executing, making the pass, making the catch, making the block, making the tackle. The execution is going to come down to the reason why one of these teams gets to advance and the other one has to go home.
As the kickoff is on its way, and once again, Pueblo West will just watch it sail into the end zone.
I mean, he's not exactly kicking with the wind here. These balls he's kicking are going deep into the end zone, and it's like he's fighting a little side wind. Usually when I'm golfing and there's a side wind, I don't get an extra 10 yards on my shot. I lose 10 yards.
And so that'll put the ball at the 20 for the Pueblo West Cyclones, who did have the ball to end the first half, but couldn't move the ball very far and actually ended up going backwards, so they decided to let the clock run out. Motion left to right. They're going to fake the handoff. They're going to pitch it around the right side. The receiver's going to be finding some open grass. He's going to get up to the 35 before he's finally brought down. Great run right there.
Great first play of the half. That's how you want to come out, whether that was scripted weeks ago or just something they came up with. I think it's a play they knew they were going to run, something they feel comfortable about getting a good gain, and a great result for the Cyclones coming out of the locker room.
Gain of 15 on that one, and that brings up a new set of downs. So 1st and 10, Cyclones moving the ball, drops back. He's looking to the right side this time, and he's going to overthrow everybody and almost hit a cheerleader, ends up hitting the training table instead. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That would have been an amazing catch by the cheerleader, being that she was facing the opposite direction. Pueblo West got a great crowd here. Super energetic. From the minute this game kicked off, there was no lines to get in here, or they were all here early. And they've been ready for this game since the last time these two teams played.
And a great job getting pressure in there, too, to force that throw. Brinkley was working on his throws before the half started, too, trying to get used to that wind.
The bummer about passing on 1st and 10 incomplete is now running becomes even much harder.
As they fake the handoff, looks to the left, rolls to the left. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be hit hard before he's forced out of bounds. Gain of about 4 on that one, but man, did he take a shot.
Big hit by number 7 there. Great pursuit by Twemsey as well. I tell you, I couldn't tell if that was a busted play or it was just a fake. I mean, they faked the dive to the fullback, but then it was like I couldn't tell if it was busted or if that was meant to be the play.
Either way, Chris Rice stood up.
Chris Rice got a nice build to him, number 7. He's got a nice frame.
He stood him up as he went around that corner. Brinkley is going to be remembering that number for a while.
Just another name we haven't called yet that, just full of potential and athleticism.
Trips right this time for Pueblo West. They're going to have one receiver left. They're going to swing pass to Sanchez. Sanchez is going to catch the ball. He's going to get over to almost to the 50-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. Forced out at about the 47. They're actually going to give him the 48. Good for a first down.
That's the kind of play calling I like. Make it easy for these kids. Easy for the quarterback, doesn't have to think too hard. Easy for the running back, nice, easy, catchable ball, and then you get your athletes the ball in space and see what happens, just like Aiden Snow or any of these other guys. Jimmer,
and you give
same
Sanchez
thing with Sanchez.
Run. He'll take it to the house.
That was plenty of green grass around him by the time he caught that ball.
1st and 10, 14-7 lead for the Bears right now. Cyclones are moving the ball, though. Trips left this time. Drops back, looks to the right side. It's going to be caught. Good for a gain of 4 before he's brought down. That's going to be Donovan Robinson on that reception.
Everyone doing a nice job running to the ball there, that's for sure.
Makes it 2nd and 6 now. Brinkley's looking a little more calmed down with his throws, too, this half.
He really is doing a nice job of just stepping and firing. Almost like a pitcher, just pitch the ball. Don't overthink it, just aim for the catcher's glove. Throw a strike.
So once again, they're going to go trips left. They're going to Robinson to the right side again by himself. Pueblo West Brinkley takes the handoff takes the ball right up the middle, and gets himself a first down, a gain of about 8.
Yeah, and I mean, just as Derek Hester is showing, he's got a little skill with his feet. Same too with Brinkley, and I mean, when you add that repertoire, especially on a windy day, you can send guys on all go routes. That's fine. Send your receivers and go take the cornerbacks with you. But if you got a quarterback that can run, I mean, that really opens it up, especially if you're doing man-to-man coverages.
And he seemed to run a little more confidently, too, that time. Whereas every other fake handoff that he's taken, he's kind of wasn't sure how far he should run or which hole he should hit. Swing pass over to the right side. There's Robinson again. Robinson
nice.
Good for a gain of about 10.
Nice little drive. Cyclones are putting together here. Confidence is key. Confidence is key. And these guys, because they're controlling the ball and they're controlling this drive, they're the ones in control of the confidence.
It's actually a gain of 9. That'll make it 2nd and 1. Just over 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. Once again, they're moving fast. Hester's going to be in the gun again. He's going to have 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. It looks like Robinson in the backfield with them maybe. No, I'm sorry, that's A.J. Finn. That's 31, not 11. And again, Hester's going to keep it, go up the middle. He's going to get the first down and maybe a couple more.
Yeah, Brinkley, he's telling you, he's a tough little runner.
I'm sorry, Brinkley.
No sweat there, yeah. And they kind of look similar, too. They're both nice athletic build. Both seem to be good poise, you know. I'm not sure how many playoff games Brinkley's been in, but he's got good poise. I like the way he's handling this drive especially. I mean, this is the biggest drive of these kids' lives.
This looks like very similar to the first drive they had in the first half, too.
They're just nice control, nothing fancy. They're just kind of.
Nothing big, they're just going.
Yeah, they're just saying, let's play ball.
Take what they give you. Trips left this time, Robinson to the right. Once again in the shotgun. Swing pass over to the right side, or the left side, excuse me. Sanchez is going to receive it. Get over to the far sideline. He's going to break a tackle before he's finally forced out of bounds. Possibly a first down. It depends on where they mark him out of bounds at.
Inside the red zone for sure, and that is going to be a first down. I think they pointed it, yeah?
Yep, there it is. They are going to give him the first down finally. Gain of about 12 on that one. Great run again by Sanchez. Open field, and, you know, these guys are leg tackling him, and you just can't do that. He keeps those legs moving.
Yeah, you got to, I mean, the way these coaches are working it, too. They're doing a great job with this drive, and this Pueblo West team is ready to go coming out of the half.
Trips right. Drops back, Brinkley does. He's looking to the right side this time. He's going to look for Robinson, but he's going to be out of bounds.
Don't believe he got that inbounds, yep.
Great idea, especially with the trips to the right that time. Robinson just couldn't keep himself in bounds, though. So that'll make it 2nd and 10. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line.
There's a big down right here. If you're Pueblo, you want to go closer to that goal line. If you're Palmer Ridge, you want to put some pressure on them, push them closer to half field.
And so once again, they're going to go trips right this time. That's just going to pitch it over to the right side, left side, excuse me. They're going to gain maybe 3 before he's pushed out of bounds.
A little sprint option there to the left out of the shotgun, just a couple steps from the quarterback. Plant that foot, pitch it with your left hand. Let the running back do his thing.
Gavin Henderson with a good run on that one. Actually gaining a 6 on it. Takes the ball to the 10-yard line, makes it 3rd and 4.
Clock stopped as they ran out of bounds there. Huge 3rd down. Ball is on the 10-yard line. And this is a 7-point game right here. This is almost, is this 4-down territory with this wind?
I would say it's still 4-down territory.
7s are so much more fun to get than 3s anyway.
Pitches over to the left side again. They're going to do the exact same play. And that's going to be close to a late hit. Henderson took it around the corner again. Got the first down, got to about the 4-yard line, and it was hit right at the tail end of it, but they're not going to call it. So.
This is an impressive drive by the Cyclones. The amount of clock they're taking off, the way they're making these first downs, no tricks, no gimmicks. They're playing football, and they're getting the ball to their athletes in space. They're doing a good job of getting their athletes the ball in space.
Makes it 1st and 4. Cyclones really putting the pressure on the Bears right now. Fake to Henderson, excuse me. Around the corner they go, but this time gain of maybe 1.
Nice play by 13 getting in there too. I believe that's Gannon Arthur. Great player. Haven't called his name nearly enough, but how he's in there wreaking havoc.
Brinkley got it to the 2-yard line. So that makes it 2nd and 2 now.
I think this is a goal-to-go situation here, Nick. I don't think they can give him any more, right? They can't get a first down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you got to score, so.
Yep.
This is where you prove whose bigger men are better at this point. And we're going to have a timeout called by Pueblo West.
And if you look down at our little picture-in-picture, that play clock was at 0. Even the coach right now is not very pleased about how that went. But sure enough, the reason they had to call that timeout, which could come back to be a big one, or you know what, though? I'd rather not have to deal with a 5-yard penalty, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I'd say great timeout call.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 7, and 2nd and 2. I would definitely go 2nd and 2 over that. 2nd and 7. And especially because you've been able to manage short plays with short runs.
And it's a short field. So, you know, when you say 2nd and 2, you're saying 2nd and goal. When you say 2nd and 7, you're saying 2nd and goal. You know, it's just that one of them 5 yards further. And so, you know, I gotta be honest. Great clock management there by the coach, Clint Buderis, and it looks like his brother Mark here on the staff as well.
And they've taken almost 5 minutes off the clock as there's 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff to Sanchez around the right side, and Sanchez is going to be met at the line and gain of 1 before he's brought down. That brings up 3rd and 1, 3rd and goal.
A lot of bodies in there trying to get in the end zone and stop people from getting in the end zone. Oh, a heck of an effort all the way there to stop Sanchez at the 1. I mean, he's about as close as you can get, 4 feet away.
So we're coming up on 7 minutes left in the third quarter. They've already eaten 5 minutes on this drive. That is, like you said, great clock management right there. Other than having to take the one timeout because of the play clock, you can't ask for much better right now. 3rd and goal. Cyclones looking to put it in the end zone. Ball's at the 1-yard line. And the quarterback keeper, and Brinkley's going to cross the end zone for a touchdown. 14-13 is the score now as Pueblo West runs that drive 5.5 minutes to put 6 more up on the board.
Great play call there. I liked it. It was a bit of an option, but it was kind of one of those options with the mesh point where you can kind of keep moving. I'll take it, you take it, I'll take it. Quarterback kept it himself. Great job getting in the end zone there.
Point after is up, and it's going to split the uprights. So
Bang.
we got a tie ball game again. Once again, 0-0 like you said earlier.
Yep.
And these two teams are just putting pressure on each other left and right.
This is a heavyweight boxing match here. This is Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. This is about all we could have asked for. Obviously, if you're Palmer Ridge faithful, you want a 40-point victory. But if you're a fan of football and high school football and kids giving it all they got, knowing that this is a win-and-go-home type situation, man, this is
you cannot ask for much better football.
We got what we asked for.
So 6:33 left to go here in the third quarter as the Cyclones took up nearly half the quarter on one possession. That's just, like you said, great clock management, great play calling, and your players knowing where they are on the field to keep that clock going. So now it's time for the Bears to answer back as they'll get their first shot in the second half. Kickoff is on the way. It's not that great. It's going to bounce at the 20. Take a Cyclones bounce to the 10 before it's fielded. And receiver's going to break some tackles. He's going to get to the 20, get up to the 25. He's still going to keep his feet going. Gets to the 32 before he's finally brought down.
35.
What a beautiful run right there. Elijah Inema with just a great job of fielding that football, and I thought he was going to be tackled for a loss at first.
Did a great job of not making it any worse than it had to be, and then once he got to that point, he made it better than we all thought it ever would be.
So the Bears will start with the ball at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. As we have a tie football game right now, 6:23 to go here in the third quarter. Nick Archuleta, Coach G, live from Don Breese Stadium. Snap is swing pass over to the left side, and that's going to be broken over to the near sideline. Excuse me. He's still going to stay in bounds before he's finally forced out of bounds at the 45.
You know what I saw right there that I liked? 45 came in, gave Jimmer a good hit. On the sidelines, could have been called a penalty. Did it right in front of the official, and guess what the official did? He didn't throw the flag, he didn't overreact, but he looked at 45 and he said, hey, hit him in bounds. hit him in bounds, or I'll call that. So I think that's 45's warning if we see it again. But I like that officiating. These kids are all so excited to be out here.
And Weir did a great job of just riding that sideline, too, trying to stay in bounds as long as he could. As Weir goes in motion from over to the right side, he's going to catch that swing pass again, get up to the 48 of the Cyclones territory before he's finally brought down, a gain of 8.
And I like this tempo that they're going with. Coach Grobe understands that he's got a team that can play fast, he's got a team that can play slow, and not all teams can do that on the opposite side. So for them to know that they can play fast out here, go with the no huddle, might prove to be useful.
Trips left, snaps handed off up the middle. We're going to try and go, and that's going to go for a loss of 1. Gabe Klein-Bruno on the run there.
I mean, how many running backs these guys got? I'm trying to learn the names of the first 5 guys that have been running backs, and now they got 2 more guys.
Well, Klein-Bruno is going out, and Aranda's coming in now.
That just shows you how much talent they got here in Monument. And same with Pueblo, man. Kids, you're not.
Aranda goes in motion. Drop back, swing pass over to Aranda. Once again on the positive side of the field. Takes a hit, keeps going before he's forced out of bounds at the 38. Great run right there, a gain of about 12. Gives the Bears a new set of downs.
Great pitch, great catch, but I liked the yak. I liked the yards after the catch there. That was a nice way to take a well-thrown ball, catch it, and then go get some more.
And he wasn't going to let them force him out of bounds, or he wasn't going to let them just nudge him out of bounds. You were going to force him out of bounds. As Connor Cook comes in this time.
Why not? Give it to him, I'd say.
As they do, Cook's going to go up the left side, but he's going to be tripped up. Gets it to the 40 before he's brought down. No gain on that, so it makes it 2nd and 10. 4:50 to go here. Is the clock still rolling?
Is the wind whipping? Yes. Yes, the wind is whipping. Just like it was in the first quarter and the second quarter.
And that's definitely showing in the play calling as well. As we do another swing pass over to the right side, but that time it's going to be too far out of bounds.
That pass was just not going to be catchable from the get-go. I think the grip was a little loose or something there, but that ball.
That just got away from him.
It was an 8-yard ball that went about 10 yards too long.
It makes it 3rd and 10 now.
This is right where Pueblo West wants you. The wind blowing, these 3rd and 10s are tough. I don't know how many screenplays they got set up in their bag of tricks, but this is where I would be looking to call a screenplay. It's a shorter pass, but you get the Monument Moving Company out there in front, whether it's to the running back or the wide receiver. You don't need 20 yards, you just need 11.
And they got 2 in the backfield. Motion from right to left. Low snap, rolls to the left, and the quarterback's going to keep it as he's going to get to the 40. The line's going to try and push him to a little further than the 35, but they can't really do it, and they end up stopping him about the 38.
All right, let's see what Coach Armentrout's going to do here. 4th down. Is it punt time? Is it punt time or is it go for it time? 40-yard line is one of those spots where it's not field goal time. I think we're pretty sure about that. But with 4 minutes left here in this 3rd quarter, is it time to go for it or is it time to kick? This is a setup where it looks like they're going to go for it.
Hester's going to be in the gun. He's going to have an empty backfield. 2 receivers left, 3 receivers right. So this is all on Hester right now. Takes a snap, drops back. He's looking right away. Over the middle, he has a receiver, and it's going to be intercepted. Pueblo West with the beautiful defense right there, and that's LeMaine Arrington again.
They're going to call it incomplete, which actually favors Pueblo West because on the turnover on downs, it's going to go back to where the ball was originally snapped. Yeah, no interception on the play, but amazing coverage there, like you mentioned. And a nice, well-thrown ball. I like it. That just came down to great coverage on defense.
And Arrington was just in the right place at the right time. Like you said, though, I'd rather have the turnover on downs than the interception because now they're going to start at the 39-yard line.
Yep. What do you think about that going for it on 4th down? 4th and 10 on the 40.
You know, it's a big game.
0-0.
You've had the ability to make that play before.
Well, I think I know you don't have to go back into the old bag of tricks and saying Coach Pulford wouldn't have done that because Coach Pulford's one of those guys last year and all the years prior where they go for it on 4th down. So keeping it with what they do.
Well, the way your punting game's been going, too, it's probably a better decision to try and go for that 1st down. As we have a drop back over to the left side, nearly intercepted.
My sun is starting to set on us a little bit here. It's getting dark out there with these
Jet
jerseys
on
these
coverage
kids.
Over there, it looks like. I believe that's number 9. So here we go again. These quarterbacks are trying to establish some kind of a passing game, and Brinkley that time just overthrew his receiver.
Why are they doing that? The last drive they didn't have to throw it more than 5 yards.
No.
And they scored, they went no problem. I don't get why you feel like you got to go with the double hitch route in a 35-mile-per-hour cross breeze.
2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. One goes in motion. Rolling to the right side this time. Quarterback keeper. And he's going to be stopped for a gain of 1.
Big Ethan Twemsey there. He's a hard guy to stop the first time, and then if he gets away from me, he's a hard guy to stop the second time. And then if he gets away from that guy, you're in trouble.
Just standing next to Brinkley was, just the size difference between the two.
Yeah, I think they got like a little more iron in the water up here, a little bit more protein in the I don't know what's going on, but the mineral water here up on this side of the Continental Divide, or I'm sorry, the Palmer Divide, not the Continental Divide. Tell you what, though, we're up here at altitude, that's for sure. And when the wind whips, it whips.
3rd and 9 right now. Cyclones trying to capitalize on a turnover on downs. Brinkley drops back, looks over to the left side, has a receiver open, complete. Depends on where he received the ball, whether or not they get the first down. Great catch right there by Gage Martinez, as it looks like he got to the 49, and they say he did, so that will be a first down.
Chains are moving.
Martinez had the 50, but he had to come back to try and make that catch.
The quick passing game of Pueblo West and the Cyclones is really what's neutralizing the pass rush of Palmer Ridge and the Bears. These guys are known for getting sacks. They're known for getting in the quarterback's face, knockdowns, hurries, all that stuff. But with this quick passing game coming out of the Cyclones, even in the wind, it's taking a lot of the pressure off the O-line to have to block those Bears.
2:52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We have a tie game at 14 as Brinkley takes it up the middle. Just gets tripped up, though. Gain of about 4.
I thought he almost might have lost that
Maybe
ball
5.
there. Haven't had a fumble yet in this game.
No.
Kids have been doing a great job of taking care of the pigskin today. 2 interceptions and a couple of turnover on downs, I think, by each squad. But, yeah, the turnover game has been pretty equal.
And like you said, a clean game.
It's been clean, I tell you what. It's been fun to watch.
Those interceptions were passes that probably shouldn't have been thrown, but it is what it is. You try to work past them. 2nd and 5. 2:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cyclones trying to keep the momentum on their side, and we're going to have a penalty, a delay of game.
That'll move them back 5 yards. And that, if you're Pueblo West, that's not what you're trying to do. Everything's going your way. Everything's coming up light blue and navy blue. I think it's like sometimes you don't want to run the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, why not? Run it over and over again. Yeah.
Until they show they can stop it.
A couple of the trick plays they ran today, I get it. I think it's good to try and catch them off guard. And I'm not sure they have to do that necessarily. Pueblo West is playing some good, strong ball right now.
Makes it 2nd and 11 after the 5-yard penalty. Brinkley drops back, looks over to the right side, and he's going to overthrow his receiver. Triple coverage. Gage Martinez was over there, though.
Yeah, that was a bit of a Bermuda Triangle to throw into. Gutsy throw there by Brinkley. But I like how he's trying to make plays. It's one of those where you go, don't throw that, don't throw that. And then, but if they catch it, you go, hey, great throw.
And that's probably the best deep ball he's thrown today.
They did have a nice tight spiral, almost overthrown because it was so well done.
That'll make it 3rd and 11 with 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. This game is moving along. I mean, it's almost, game started just after 1 o'clock, and they've really kept this game moving. Brinkley drops back, little duck over the middle.
And that right there is the kind of,
6.
that's the kind of screen action, I think, on a windy day like today. That's the kind of action you want to be running, whether you're Palmer Ridge or Pueblo West. It's still a short pass. It's still easy on the quarterback. It's a one-read play. You know, there's usually not a secondary read, maybe a backside post or something like that. But it's one of those where everyone's just kind of on the same page. And then what happens is, too, the guy who caught the ball, he gets blockers out in front of him.
Henderson did a great job trying to break tackles. He almost got the first down if he hadn't been tripped up. But
big 3rd down stand.
4th and 5. Great job by
look out for fakes here.
By the Bears.
Look out for fakes in the playoffs.
And
that's not illegal. That should be you can't just jump back like that.
That was interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if it's part of something, but it looked too herky-jerky.
Yeah.
To be, you know, it looked like it was almost like you're trying to draw them offsides, which maybe they were because it's 4th and 5. Maybe they got this play in their book. Illegal shift is what I would call it.
And before the snap, false start assessed against the Cyclones. That'll be a 5-yard.
So that's going to push them back 5 more yards.
Might actually help in the punting game version of this thing. Plus, I think if you're Palmer Ridge, it helps you kind of take away the idea of a possible fake. 4th and 5, you never know.
4th and 5, yeah, anything's possible. 4th and 5, especially on their side of the 50.
Gerlach's back deep now for Palmer Ridge. He's explosive.
Wounded duck of a punt.
Stay out of the way.
30, takes a Bears bounce, and they finally knock it down at the 36-yard line, where Palmer Ridge will take over.
Great drive there for the Palmer Ridge defense, getting that stop, giving up 0 points, and keeping this a 14-14 game. I tell you, and even, you know, good job on that punt. Sometimes when you're running back to block punts, you forget that these wobbly, windy, you know, wounded ducks, like you said, are being kicked up in such a manner where it could bounce and hit you, and next thing you know, oh gosh, turnover gets it back to him. So good job for no one being in there in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
1st and 10 from the 36 now. Palmer Ridge looking to answer back after Pueblo West scored in their first possession. Hester tries to get around the left side and is brought down after a gain of 4. That play kind of fell apart real fast, and he had to react quickly on that one.
You know, that's not the first time that Hester's found himself in the backfield in the middle of what appears to be a busted play. And so I'm trying to figure out, is that lack of experience by the young kid, or is it play calling or something? Is it the running back going the wrong way? I'm not exactly sure, but I can tell you this much. It's happened more than I'd like to see it happening.
As Hester fakes the handoff. No, but he actually did complete the handoff, excuse me. Cook takes it up the middle, and they're going to mark him down the 43, make it 3rd and 3.
You know, the beauty of this game is the simplicity of this game. The plays that are most simple are the ones that are most successful, right? The times where you try and get real cute or real over thoughtful, you wind up in a spot where not a lot is happening. So I like how, you know, it's the basics that are getting it all done.
3rd and 3 from the 43. Have a man in motion from right to left. Hand off to Cook. Cook's going to get around the right side, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 2. So that'll make it 4th down now. And you're so close to midfield, you have to assume that they're probably going to go for it again, especially with such short field. Clock's winding down on the game, though, and they're not going to get the snap off before the half ends.
And that's the end of your 3rd quarter, folks.
So 4th and 2 will be where it starts. They're going to switch to the other side of the 50, which isn't much of a move. But this is where you get to crunch time, and you have to really start to buckle down. It's a tie game, and you have 12 minutes left to decide who's going to win.
You know, you mentioned it's not that big of a move. We haven't mentioned too much about the Monument Moving Company and all the bodies they've moved out of the way. And we haven't mentioned too much about Connor Cook. And for me, I'm looking at a play where you put in 6 or 7 offensive linemen. Really pancake city, baby. And then hand it to 21 and go get yourself 7 feet. And then you know what? Just do it a couple more times. Once you get down to this final 12 minutes and the clock's running and you're the one in control of possession, you're in control of the clock. And you got the Monument Moving Company. You got these big, strong guys going to Michigan. Got looks from Air Force. Got looks from UC San Diego. All the, you know, everyone knows about the Monument Moving Company. So here's the deal: if you got 7 feet to get, go run behind number 77, and put a blocker behind 77, like 75 or 54.
And they're bringing.
Look
out
at these big numbers. I see.
Right
there
now,
we go.
yeah.
I see 80, even 81 is Twemsy, but he, as good a hands as he's got, he's a Monument mover deep down.
And like you said, 54 is St. Aubin right there. He hasn't been in much, but he's been in for those big, short plays that they need. They need some power. So 4th and 2. We're at the start of the 4th quarter. The Bears looking to just get one more first down. Start this fourth quarter off right. Hand off to Cook. Cook's going to be met in the backfield, but he's still on his feet, and he's going to be stopped after a loss of 3. Great job by Pueblo West to just get pressure and stop Cook before he could even hit the line of scrimmage.
So on that play call there, what I saw was Hester had the ball, and then it looked like he kind of wanted to keep it, almost like he was going to put it in 21's tummy and then pull it out in bootleg. Well, 21, he's a hungry running back. He wanted to keep it too. And it just looked like in that instance that both those guys wanted to make the play, and in that occurring, neither of them made the play.
They are not in sync with that play. So turnover on down, short field for the Cyclones as they try to run it over the right side. Gain of about 2. Makes it 2nd and 8 with 11:45 to go in the game. We have a tie game right now, 14 apiece. And this is just hard-nosed football right now between these two teams.
Pretty cool over here. The Pueblo West guys, they get their own tent. They all gather up together. And they, when offense is done, they do that. And when defense is done, they do that. But really hearing a lot of hooting and hollering out of there right now, that's for sure.
Big stop for him, definitely. Swing pass over to the left side, and that's going to be incomplete. Just overthrows Sanchez. Brinkley had Sanchez wide open, but once again, just put a little too much on top of it.
Which is, that's about as easy of a pitch and catch as Brinkley's going to have today. And we've seen him make a bunch of good throws, but that one, it would have been, I know Sanchez is a little bummed because he loves to get that ball with green grass in front of him, and there was no shortage of green grass.
Makes it 3rd and 8 now. Again, short field for the Cyclones on this turnover. They have the ball at the Bears 40, but the defense really stepping it up right now, causing some chaos.
Look for the pass.
Pitch over to Sanchez. Sanchez
look for the pass.
Looks like he's going to throw, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. Great job right there.
And if you want to say great job, I'd say it to the defensive backfield. The corners and the safeties, they held under control, right? They didn't lose control of the situation, and they realized trick play, get back, be safe. Also, good job by Sanchez there, not forcing a bad throw on a windy day when you're a running back, right?
Yeah.
And not fumbling it, not doing too much, right? Not getting too crazy. That play already went backwards for him enough. You didn't need it to go getting a turnover without punting
Brad
it here.
Larson doing a great job of pursuing Sanchez on that play and just making sure he didn't go anywhere, wrapped him up and took him down.
God, sometimes I forget there's football going on because of how beautiful those mountains are out there.
Ball takes a Cyclones bounce.
Look at this.
And it's going to be
tapped
down at the 3-yard line.
You want to win a playoff game in November against a team that you beat once already?
March at 97 yards.
You got to go 97. You know what? But if you do it right.
Great punt that time, though.
Great punt.
Great coverage right there by the Cyclones to get that ball down at the 3-yard line. So with 10:26 to go, scores tied 14 apiece. Both teams have been able to move the ball, but both defenses have also been able to stop the opposition as well. So it's just a guess of which team's going to show up in this possession.
The Palmer Ridge faithful, I got to say, are borderline stunned right now. They're used to big scores, big dancing, big touchdown plays, big offensive linemen. And I tell you what, they are finding themselves in a spot they're not too familiar with.
10:26 to go here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 from the 3 for the Bears.
Is that Snowing at quarterback? No, that's Hester.
Nope, Hester's still in there. Pass over to the left side, but that's going to be incomplete. Trying to go with that quick pass, but
you can talk about
was just not there.
You can talk about the Monument Moving Company all you want, but the funny thing is, there's a reason these quarterbacks get paid so much, right? And there's a reason that Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers get all the State Farm commercials.
Yeah.
And the big offensive linemen, they get to be extras.
You're the face
in a
of
Baker
that team.
Mayfield commercial. You know, the only time I see an offensive lineman is if they're an extra in a Baker Mayfield commercial. So that goes to show you that it's going to really come down to the way Derek Hester handles the ball, the way he gets it out to the guys that need to get it. This is big time right here.
2nd and 10. They do have 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Fake the handoff. He's going to be deep in his end zone and throw that ball, and that's going to be caught just inside the 10-yard line. Beautiful catch right there.
Might have got even out past the 13. Could have been enough for a first down. We'll see. That's going to bring up 3rd down. Just a 3rd and 1 here.
Night Train with that reception. 3rd and 1.
Hurrying up.
Clock still running. Handoff up the middle. Looking for the first down, and it looks like they may have got it.
I'm just telling you, the exchange between the quarterback and the running back has not been clean, and it's hard to get a full head of steam from the shotgun to begin with, right? You know, if you're dotting the I and you turn and hand it, the guy's already running 3 yards of steam. But what's happening is there's no steam and then there's no continuity. It's almost like if you were running a relay race and they went to hand you the baton and you weren't ready. It's 4th and 1, so they did not get it, and here's the punter. Oh, bad snap.
Punt is off, though. Punt saves them a little bit. Fair catch at the 45. So the Cyclones will start on short field again with 9:21 left on the clock.
I tell you what, 81, Ethan Night Train Twemsey, he also punts. And that was a huge punt. Not only was it a great punt, but it was a great catch of a bad snap. And then he didn't freak out. He didn't go all rugby style and just like run around and act like he's never seen a bad snap before. He just picked the thing up, gave it the old boot.
Total composure right there.
And I mean, there's a big difference between starting from the 50 and starting from the 35.
1st and 10 from the 45, though, as Brinkley takes it around the right side, gains 5 yards before he's brought down. Keeps the clock running. The Bears have 3 timeouts. Cyclones have 2. They already had to burn one on near play clock violation. And they've already been called for delay of game as well, so.
Keep an eye on that play clock. We got it in the lower right-hand corner. We're going picture in picture. You'll see it down there. It's counting to 17, 16, 15 as we speak.
Shotgun snap, keeper for Brinkley. He's going to go up the middle again. Gain another 5 yards before he's brought down. That should be good for a first down.
You know, his strides are like glides. You know, he's not exactly chopping his feet and running like he's, you know, Marshall or Marcus Allen or Herschel Walker, one of these hard leg runners. He's just got a nice glide to him. And then he does a good job of falling forward, does Brinkley. I like how, you know, when he gets tackled, he doesn't get hit and knocked backwards. He gets hit and then kind of falls for another 3 feet, maybe 4 feet.
1st and 10 for Pueblo West, as we have a tie game, 14-14 right now with just over 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
What a game.
Brinkley drops back, fakes the throw to the left side. He's being pressured, though, and he's going to have to get that throw off. He barely gets it off just outside of the pocket. It's going to be incomplete.
Boy, the fact that he got that throw off was probably the best play of that play. That was about to be an 8 or 9 yard loss in windy weather on a you know, that brought up almost ungettable yardage to gain. Instead, just of athleticism and ability by Brinkley to get that ball off
and just to
under
see Robinson
such pressure
right there in that area to get that ball to him. And as this game has gone on, both teams have just improved so much more from that first possession on. Just the decision-making and the coverage. Fakes the handoff. Brinkley's going to go around the right side. He's going to keep it. He's going to get a gain of 5-10. He's going to get to the far sideline before he's finally brought down. Gain of nearly 15 yards on that rush. Taken out of bounds, so the clock will stop.
And a nice thing about what we mentioned with Hester and Cook, their mesh point, it's just kind of off. It's not exactly, on the same page. Whereas these guys right here, these play actions are getting linebackers to bite. They're getting the D lineman to pinch into the middle so that the outsides open up, or vice versa. And you know what? It's just Brinkley does a nice job of deception with the football, even on his pump fakes and his ball fakes. And I think it's really been working out well for him.
1st and 10 from the 20. The Cyclones moving the ball, looking to put 7 more up on the board. Fake and a fumble. Ball's on the ground, and there's a mad dash for it, and that's going to be recovered by Palmer Ridge.
21's on it.
Great job right there of just staying with that football. Connor Cook, once again, now he's getting his name called on defense.
Unbelievable turn of events. Just when you thought you were driving down to kick a game-leading field goal, score a game-leading touchdown, everything's coming up right for the quarterback, and then I don't really know what happened. I don't know why the ball came out or how the ball came out.
Well, and you have to
did you
look at
see
it too.
a hand or a mitt that got in there?
I
Did you
didn't
see something?
Anything.
Or was
it
just
looked like it was just a fake handoff in the exchange,
wow.
and he might have come too far in, and that point hit his shoulder pads or something. But now the Palmer Ridge crowd is way louder than this Pueblo West crowd, and the Pueblo West crowd's underneath us.
And there's Aiden
As
Snow.
Snow goes around the right side, there's going to be a flag on the field. Snow's going to have a gain of maybe 3, but we're going to see what that penalty is.
That's
Probably going to be a holding.
Out of the Wildcat.
I think that might be on Night Train.
By Lemaine Arrington, but there is a flag down in play.
And that's what it was. But you listen to the shift in the crowd now.
Right.
After that fumble recovery,
just
the
library
noise
over
coming
here.
from across from us. And like I said, the Pueblo West fans are right underneath us. And they were being so loud until that fumble, and it's just like a sense of shock. As Hester drops back, he's looking to the right side. He's going to have wide open receiver right there. Beautiful job by Fackrell.
I love that simple route. We could see it right in our coverage here. Hester was basically throwing it right in line with me. You could see Fackrell did a nice job of curling that route in. Gets to his spot. Nice catchable ball by Hester on a windy day. You really like pretty much everything about that play. And, you know, you still got a little bit of work to do to get back from that last holding penalty, but at least it takes a little chunk out and gets you to a more manageable 2nd and 11.
Fackrell a little slow to get up, but gets off the field under his own power. Like Coach G said, it is 2nd and 11 now. 7:34 on the clock. 14-14 is the score.
It's an empty backfield.
As the clock starts again, both play clock and game clock. Trips right, twins left. Hester drops back, looks to the left side. He overthrows his receiver, intended for Snow once again.
Seemed like that throw, the footwork for Hester was telling me he was going to maybe throw it towards us.
Yeah.
Towards Pueblo West sideline or maybe up the chute. Then he kind of did a full hip spin there, whipped it around, and I think it just kind of came out a little faster than he would have liked.
Makes it 3rd and 11. Clock stops on the incomplete pass, 7:19 to go. Hester drops back, he's got pressure coming. Deep throw down the middle, and that pass is going to be batted down. Great defense right there by Gerlach to keep it from being intercepted. We got a penalty on the field as well.
Almost got to certainly be pass interference. We'll keep an eye here on the black cap as he walks into Fish. I mean, the question is, who's it on? Is it on the offense for pushing the defense, or is it on the defense for pushing the offense? It was Johnny on the spot, though. Can't say the official wasn't right there to see it.
And both crowds are booing right now, but none of us know what the penalty is. And his pass interference on Pueblo West.
Wow, what an amazing turn of events there. It's not going to be a spot of the foul penalty. It is 15 yards.
That was a late penalty, though, to be on Pueblo West, because that ball I didn't think was catchable.
Well, and the weird thing is, it's not like that was a tight spiral that the dude, you know, was wide open and got messed with. It was almost one of those underthrows, but you see that a lot in college, and you see it a lot in the NFL where the ball's underthrown, whether it's wind or strength, and it just turns out to be one of those where the D-backs, they're trying so hard. I mean, imagine being out on that island in the 4th quarter of a huge game to begin with, and then they throw it your way. Crazy turn of events there. Let's see if the Bears can capitalize.
1st and 10. Snow in motion, takes the handoff, almost drops the ball. He's hitting the backfield. Loss of 1.
Just, I mean, I'm going to bang on it again. That's not a good handoff.
No.
It's not a good transition from athlete to athlete to give these people the best ability to succeed.
And it looked like he had to slow up his motion, too, as he
Right.
was coming across.
Right. And that's
Wait
kind
for
of
that snap.
that's a play where maybe you're overthinking it a little bit. Of course, when it works out and you're a genius. No one thinks smarter than you, but it's one of those where
Hester rolling to the right side. He's going to fall down before he's hit. That's going to be a significant loss of yards right there. Takes him back to the 26-yard line.
I tell you, big 45 though. He's a good. If I was a quarterback and this guy was coming to put a hit on me, I might fall down too.
Yeah, Tyler Cullen is a big kid right there.
Dang, he's got to look like he wants to play at the next level.
The senior 6'2", 225.
Yeah. He moves well though. He moves real well.
6 foot, 165 for the quarterback running away from him. There's definitely a mismatch there. 3rd and 20. Bears trying to capitalize on a turnover here. And all Hester can do is try and run it up the middle. Almost makes it back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th and 11. These two defenses have really stepped it up in this quarter.
Oh, this has been all about defense this whole game. I mean, it's really been a fun to watch. Hester, things aren't going your way. I get it. I need that body language to be on point because these guys are looking to you to take care of the ball and take care of the offense. Another bad snap.
Wrong. He did not make it to the original line of scrimmage. So it's 4th and 20 with that punt, and the punt's going to take a Cyclones bounce and be down finally at the 40. They're going to call it the 38 before it's finally down. So positive yardage again for the Cyclones.
Boy, momentum has shifted back to our side of the stadium. Palmer Ridge is a little disappointed with plays not really being fully executed. And the Pueblo West faithful have gotten over the recent fumble, and they are all fired up.
5:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. Tie ball game, 14-14. Second round of the 4A football championships, and Brinkley's going to take it up the middle. Gain of 3 before he's brought down.
Been some great sportsmanship out here too. It hasn't been too much chirping, yapping, flipping, squawking.
Yeah.
These guys are picking each other up. They're knocking each other down. They're picking each other up. They're knocking each other down. It's like this is a beautiful football game. This is everything that's beautiful about the game.
Makes it 2nd and 6, 4:40 to go as the clock's rolling. Next possession could determine the winner as Brinkley keeps that one, goes around the right side, gain of about almost 8. Clock keeps moving. I'm sorry, the clock stops for the chains to move first. Now the clock has started again, just under 4:15 to go here. And Coach, the next score could determine the winner of this game.
Oh my gosh. And the question is, would you leave it up to a high school kid to kick a field goal right here?
Brinkley up the middle, over to the left side. He's got some green grass. He's going to be tackled at the 15.
Wow, 9 game-saving tackle right there.
Gain of 12 right there. As that quarterback keeper works out well for Pueblo West.
I absolutely love the fact that they're calling quarterback keepers. It's a simple play with a good athlete. It's not sexy by any stretch. It's not the kind of thing that's going to win you Coach of the Year for drawing up plays. But you come here to win a game. You're trying to win one football game on one day.
And like you said, if it works, do it till they stop it.
And then as for that Palmer Ridge Bears defensive line, that front 7, they got their hands full today. It's going to be up to them to make some big stops.
1st and 10 from the 15. Snap, Brinkley keeps it again. He's going to go up the middle, go back to the left side again. He's going to try and keep his feet. A gain of 4 before he's brought down.
And if I'm Coach Carlton, I got a QB spy right now. I got a spy on 5 the whole game. Whoever the middle linebacker is, he's got no coverage. He's got nothing to worry about. He just keeps a shadow on number 5.
And that might be what Connor Cook is doing right now because he was all over him on that tackle that time. Just under 3 minutes to go here. 2nd and 7. 14-14 game in the second round 4A football championships.
10 seconds on the game clock.
Pueblo West has already had to burn a timeout to keep from violating that. Brinkley again up the middle, and that time he's going to be stuffed. Gets the ball to the 10.
Connor Cook right in there making big plays. And if you're Palmer Ridge, you got to wonder how much time outs do I need to keep with me and how many should I take maybe in the next play or two, because clock's your friend at this point. And you've shown you can score with under 90 seconds.
And you have all 3 timeouts. Your offense is good enough to move the ball.
I think the coach is going to take a timeout here. I think he's going to run this whole clock down. Yep, he's yelling to the official. He's going to walk this clock down. Yep. And as you see, 5 seconds on the clock. They're not even getting into the huddle. It's crazy, too. I mean, you see NFL coaches that have a hard time with clock management. It's not something you get to practice as much.
No, you don't.
You'd like to think you do, but even when you're practicing it, you set it up. You set up the terms of the agreement.
Yeah, you know the plays that are coming. You know your coverage. You know the personnel on the field, and you know, like you said, when you control every aspect of what's going on, you don't get that full-time game feel.
There's nothing you want more right now than to have their coach decide field goal or go for it.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to make a play here on 3rd down, and you got to leave it. If it's 4th and inches, he's going for it. You know,
yeah.
But if you can leave it at that 4th and 5 range or something along those lines, you know, that'll kind of leave it up to a little bit more.
And you know, if you're Pueblo West too, and like you said, if it is 4th and inches, your defense has been able to stop this offense today. Do you risk it and let it go into an overtime situation? Because you have 2 minutes. They have all 3 timeouts. Pueblo West is down to 1, though. So you can't control the clock as well as Palmer Ridge right now.
Kicker's 2 for 2 on extra points today.
Either way,
looks
it's
like
3rd
he
and
split
6.
the middle.
Brinkley set up in the gun. He's going to run around the left side. He's got a big hole over there, and he's going to be stopped.
That'll bring
just shy of the 1st down. It's probably going to make it 4th and 2. As Palmer Ridge is going to call a timeout now.
A little sportsmanship there, a little gamesmanship. I think a smart play running it keeps the clock going, right?
Yeah.
No incompletion, no worry about that. Also makes them have to take one of their timeouts. You're still in great control. I mean, you know, if this ball right here, if they kick the field goal, what are you doing? Are you lining up for the field goal, or are you sending out your guys? It says 4th and 3 on the scoreboard.
You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go, if it's 4th and 3, that quarterback keeper's been working for me. All I need is 3 yards to get a new set of downs.
Really?
I would go for it.
Really? Well, let's see. Doesn't look like they got a kicker in the huddle. Looks like they're fired up.
I haven't seen Brinkley come off yet, but they do. It looks like their long snapper might be out there.
And field goal set up. Is that field goal set up?
Yep, they are going for it. They're going for the field goal. So he's putting all his faith in his defense right now.
Good for him.
Right
Why
now,
not? They've held them to 0 points this half.
But right now they got to make the field goal. It's a 19-yard kick. As it's up, and he misses it. It's no good. It's wide left.
Unbelievable. He pulled it to the left. This is so classic. This is one of the wildest things about this game of gladiators, this game of head smashers and knock them out, drag them out, is it comes down to a soccer-style kick. And unbelievably in the favor of the Palmer Ridge Bears. 0 points go up for the Cyclones, and this game is still 14-all.
An oblong-shaped ball that you have to kick squarely.
Unbelievable. Just looks like he pulled it a little bit. Can't blame the field conditions. Beautiful turf out here. Wind, honestly, been the best it's been all day for that kick.
Well, they were set up
just
so
came down to
those,
execution.
they were set up so close to the hash marks too that I think he let that.
It's interesting you mentioned that too, because the further left you get, sometimes just the biomechanics of the human body and the way the waist, curves around the trunk there. Yeah, it looks like he tried to kick it hard, and in doing so, just hard, drive it right down the chute, but in doing so, over-rotated and torqued it.
So minute 49, 1st and 10, 2 timeouts remain for Palmer Ridge.
Got to be smart.
1 timeout for Pueblo West. At this point, you got to try and get the field goal. Hand off to Cook. Cook's going to find some open space. He's going to go back to the left side. He's going to get to the near far sideline, and he's got room to run. He's going to get to the 38 before he's forced out of bounds. Great run right there by Cook. And there's Palmer Ridge getting the workhorse involved in an important situation.
I mean, talk about your best player making the biggest play when it was called for. That's one of your best players right there, and he's making a huge play. Look at the hurry-up offense here, too. Coach Grobe.
Minute 43, swing pass over to the left side, or the right side, and that's going to be tackled for a loss.
Hey, you want to keep moving now. Clock is ticking as we check down in the picture-in-picture. We're at 90 seconds.
Minute 30 to go. You do have 2 timeouts. So you don't want to take too much time to get these plays in.
You also don't want to leave too much time if the next two go incomplete.
Minute 18 to go, and we're going to have a timeout. Palmer Ridge is going to take a timeout, so they need to discuss what's going on. They're at the 35 of their own 35 right now. It is 14-14 with a minute 17 to go. Both teams have one timeout remaining. It's win or go home. Are you playing for
win or go home? You actually, that's all you got to say. Nothing more needs to be said. These guys are coaching them up today. Hats off to both these coaching staffs, all these players. Just heck of an effort, and so much fun to be here, part of it. We're so thankful for the NFHS network, for Jeff Kurtz, West Coast coordinator. We had a little jam early today in the first quarter, and they took care of us, and we got back live. We're giving you the best coverage we can give you. We're running two cameras plus a scoreboard cam.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Nick Archuleta. He's Coach G. He's the man responsible for putting all this together. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Yep, dream big, guys.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
This was a big dream we had a couple years ago, and now look at us.
Minute 17 to go.
It was the run that got him here. I wonder if you think about running it again.
As they're going with a motion again. Low snap. Hester rolls to his right. He's looking for somebody, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. Overthrows Fackrell again. 3rd and 13.
So running it got you 20-something yards, and passing it has lost you 2 yards or 3 yards. It's one of those crazy things. I mean,
and there's Cooks back out there again.
Yeah, and I still haven't seen any sort of screen pass game. I'm telling you what, on these little bit longer plays where it's 13, 15 yards, sometimes the nicest thing you can do is just throw it 0 yards, get some linemen out in front, see if you can make something happen.
Snow and Weir to the right side. 2 more receivers to the left. Cook in the backfield. Hester trying to direct traffic. 6 seconds left on the play clock. They got to get the snap off. Minute 11 to go here in the 4th. Drops back. He looks to the right side. Finds a receiver open, and that's going to be Fackrell, who's going to get it back to the 41, excuse me.
So is Pueblo West going to take a timeout, or are they going to let this clock tick here? So should bring up a 4th and
6.
6. I got to imagine you're going to punt this thing, right?
Looks like they're setting up for the punt.
They are setting up for the punt. Keep an eye on 86, too. His last 2 snaps have not made it the full distance to Twemsey. That needs to get it to him. 81's done a great job of picking up those balls and punting them.
And Pueblo West isn't messing around. They have Sanchez back to receive the punt. Low snap again. And that punt's going to be out of bounds. Let's see where the officials mark it. As he's still walking. And it looks like he stops at the 37-yard line finally. So Pueblo West has 24 seconds, 1 timeout to get into field goal range from the Bears' 37.
Fresh off a missed field goal as well. I'm not sure field goal range is what they're looking for. They're going to try and get 7 here for sure. We talked about the wind all day, the breeze here at Don Breese Stadium. It has gone down significantly. Deep balls are in play. I would back up on these wide receivers if I was a cornerback.
Quarterback keeper as Brinkley goes around the right side. Gain of 6 before he's brought down. Timeout Pueblo West. 18 seconds to go. 14-14 is the score here in the 4th quarter.
What a game.
What a game.
Wow. I mean, driving down here, we were talking about things to expect and things to look for, and I'm not sure we were talking about this kind of expectation.
No.
Even if it was going to go to overtime, I wouldn't have thought a 14-14 score and 0 points by the Bears in the second half.
Yeah, exactly.
0 points.
I would have thought maybe a 28-28 game. You know, a score in each quarter by each team or something. I don't know. Overtime wasn't outside of the realm of predictability, but like you said, 14-14, and we've only had 1 touchdown in the second half.
And that was that drive by Pueblo West. They just came out under such control, not really doing anything too fancy. I wear fancy hats and I got a fancy mustache and all that, but I don't like fancy stuff. I don't like it. I like gritty kind of blue collar. When I think of Pueblo, I think of blue collar. I think of hardworking folks that do things the right way down there. And this Pueblo West team, they're doing things the right way, that's for sure.
Brinkley drops back. He's going to have an empty backfield. He's going to go deep. He's going to go over to the left side, and that's going to be almost intercepted by Fackrell. Nobody over there wearing a white jersey at all. That almost went badly in a hurry for Pueblo West.
Brinkley looking deep. Pass falls incomplete. 7 seconds off the clock, so there's 11 seconds remaining.
So 11 seconds, 3rd and 6. Pueblo West is out of timeouts, but the clock stops with the incompletion. And they have to do something because Palmer Ridge still has the ability to stop the clock with 1 timeout and 11 seconds to go, so you can't just down it.
Careful here trying to do too much, too. Sometimes you find yourself, Carson Wentz did it the other day, trying to do too much, throwing it left-handed or something, and that can lead to a pick six or some type of just travesty you don't want to see happen this late in the game.
Drop back, looks over to the left side again, and Fackrell's there, and that's going to be caught by Sanchez. Inbounds at the 31-yard line. What a beautiful play right there. 4 seconds to go.
Boy, I tell you, the wind might be one of the best teammates Palmer Ridge had today.
Yeah.
Because the ball that was thrown there by Pueblo West, that was a tight spiral right on point, and where it needed to be, when it needed to be. Unbelievable coverage. And that, I mean, maybe the wind has been the real blessing for Palmer Ridge, not having to face this arm.
And Fackrell was probably just a yard too deep to make a play on that. So they're going to go for the field goal here.
Wow, look at this. Is this really happening?
39-yard field goal right now.
49.
Yes, you're right, 49. And it's going to be caught at the end zone, so it didn't make it there. Palmer Ridge is going to take it to the 13-yard line, but the buzzer's going to go off.
Wow.
And Coach G, we have free football.
Wow. Well, you know, when you drive down here from the cities, you always wonder, is it going to be worth the drive? And, yeah, it's been worth the drive tonight. Man, just a beautiful day, beautiful football game. I really like I mentioned earlier, the sportsmanship out here, the coaching, just the officiating has been so on point. It's all just been great, honestly, to think about all the hard work that these teams have put in to get to this point, and then to really, honestly, just absolutely nail it. What a game.
Yeah, and again, this is what you expect from playoff football. You know, you don't expect to have blowouts unless it's, you know, the first round and a 1 against a 16 maybe. But even then, any given Sunday, you know, don't throw your money on the Dallas Cowboys against the Denver Broncos.
And if you're asking me, Archie, which way this overtime goes, I don't know. I don't know if it's first one to score. I don't know if it's what it is. I don't know if it's if they do line it up on the 30s or something. I don't know. I don't think I've ever called a high school football overtime game. Most of these Palmer Ridge games, they win kind of handily. So really awesome just getting to be a part of this whole deal, and such fun. And thank you so much for coming out here, Nick. I mean,
no, thank you for asking me to come out and do this with you.
And good for you for going to the media school and signing up, and that's how we got to meet. And I'd suggest to anyone who's interested, go check out what the Colorado Media School's got to offer. Go check out DNVR and these kind of smaller companies. Mile High Sports is where I got my start and met Miles Dunklin. There's options out there. If you got big dreams.
Miles Dunklin calling the game for the Colorado School of Mines today as well with Josh Dover, media school graduate.
Yeah, Miles Dunklin gets done calling the best high school football team in Texas and flies home and calls a top 5 D2 team in the United States.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I texted him earlier, but he's a real inspiration to me, man. Just that dude. I mean, and he's younger than me, and he's like a grandpa to me. Like he's like
yeah, he's
like a mentor, and he's an old soul.
Everything he's done for me, even too. You know, I've only known him probably about a year. And just when he started doing the play-by-play workshops at the media school, and it was just, you know, he's
a guy that gets it.
Either. He will tell you exactly what he thinks. He will tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong.
And good luck outworking him.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried. I like to work. I like working hard. I don't mind a hard day's work. I tell you what, it's hard to outwork some of these dudes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's plenty of them out here on the field. There's coaches up and down the sidelines. They are dudes that are hard to outwork. They're not going to be outworked. You might beat them, but it's not going to be because you worked harder than them. And that goes for these Pueblo West coaches, too. This staff is on point. The way they got these boys working today, I mean, we know what to expect from Palmer Ridge and these coaches because they've been here year after year, state tournament game after state tournament game. I'm not sure what happened on the coin toss there. It looks like Pueblo West was a little disappointed with the result, which would lead me to believe Palmer Ridge is going to accept the kick. What'd you see?
I don't know. It was hard to tell.
I know.
There was no real big movements from the officials.
That looks like kick return for Pueblo West.
No, it looks like the offense.
Oh, is it? Okay, so
yeah.
We're doing it that way. We're doing it like college style, huh? 10-yard line?
So
they put it on the 10?
10. I believe so.
Oh, this is fun.
I haven't seen a high school overtime game in a long time.
Here we go. Well, that's what I wasn't sure what to tell you. So I guess if you win the toss, it is best to be the team that goes second, the home team, so to speak, baseball reference there. So it must have been Palmer Ridge won, and then they chose to play defense. The other plays that come into it, into it here are usually field goals and touchdowns. So look out for holding penalties too.
They have 4 plays to do it. Brinkley keeps it. That's
Ball's on the floor.
Ball on the ground.
Wow.
Tried to pitch it to try and get that running back into the end zone, but ended up hitting him in the shoulder, stopping that play short. 2nd and 14, even though the 14 second and goal still, but it'll be from the 14.
Boy, I mean,
and Gavin Henderson, that's the first time that he and Brinkley have not been on the same page today.
For on point is how these Cyclones have been. That's not how you want to start this overtime period. But
I wouldn't be surprised because you got Sanchez out here in the slot receiver right now. Snaps, rolls over to his left side, tries to find the receiver, but he overthrows him. Intended for number 12, Gage Martinez.
Seemed like there was like 3 or 4 receivers kind of running the same route, They were all running like outs, and one was maybe running a post flag, but it looked like a couple of them got in the same lane of each other. And first play, fumble. Second play, guys are kind of running in the same spot. This sharp axe that was the Pueblo West Cyclones looks like they're losing that edge a little bit.
Makes it 3rd and goal from the 14 now.
Anything can happen. That last ball that Brinkley threw, though, that tight spiral down the left sideline, that was quite a play.
Makes it, again, the score is 14-14 here in the overtime period. Second round of the 4A football championships. Brinkley's going to roll to his right this time. He's going to look left. He's going to be pressured. He's going to have to try and get this throw off. He's going to have a wide open receiver in the end zone for the touchdown. Tyler Cullen found open grass and just kept running with him. Beautiful play right there by Cullen to keep it alive.
Great play by Brinkley. What an athlete making a play when you need it most. That he's got a C on his chest, I guarantee you. This guy is a playmaker. Look at him over here on the sideline. He's gritty. He's a grinder. He's the kind of guy you want to go to battle with. Boy, what a play to just stay on his feet. And not get tackled in the backfield there. And then to see a wide open guy, sometimes those are the worst guys to pass to because they're so open.
Yeah.
Big kick here.
So the point after, he's already missed the field goal. That one's going to be up and in. So that's 7 points right there for the Pueblo West Cyclones. Palmer Ridge has to answer here. They have 4 plays to try and get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Can also go for the 1-pointer to tie and keep the overtime going as well. But this right here, this group of guys getting out of that huddle, they're not familiar with being in this spot very often. Let's be honest. This team wins games early and they win them often, okay? So to be even in overtime is something new for these guys. To be in a game this close in the fourth quarter is something new. But to be down in overtime and needing it, I don't know if they've been in this position nearly enough.
21-14 is the score right now. We're in overtime. This is Palmer Ridge's first possession in this overtime period. As Snow takes the snap, he's going to run around the right side. He's going to get to the end zone, and he's going to be in there for the touchdown.
Wow. What an answer.
What a play by Snow. That's an answer right there. As he wasn't going to go down, but Snow is not getting up now. And there's actually 2 injured Palmer Ridge players now.
Snow, I thought maybe was going to get tackled around the 4-yard line. I thought maybe he was going to get hit out of bounds around the 2-yard line. And then by the time it came to get in the end zone, he was there standing up, leaning over, doing everything in his power to get in there. And it's those plays like from Aiden Snow and Derek Hester to get that extra yard. I mean, I tell you, anyone can get down to the 1-yard line, right?
Yeah.
But to get it in the end zone, that's the name of the game.
Extra effort right there.
And what a play. I mean,
on the first play.
Just needed it. You know what I mean? Just absolutely needed it. There's nothing else you could really do other than just, I mean, like things just weren't going Palmer Ridge's way for the last, well, let's see, third quarter, fourth quarter, and now overtime.
Yeah.
They're down 7 since half.
You had Pueblo West backed up to the point where it was 14 yards to the end zone. And you still allowed them to score 7 points. Okay, wipe the slate clean. Let's focus on our offense now. Let's go with what worked. And those end arounds have been really good as of late.
And you know what? I like Snow. He's one of your best athletes.
Yes.
Right? Connor Cook is tough. Hester, he's a good player. That's why he's your quarterback. But your best athlete is going to be one of those guys that you can pretty much give it to him anytime. And I love how they did it there. Now, the scoreboard, if you're looking in the lower right corner, says 21-20. Do you go for 2 here or do you go for 1?
I say you go for the win.
Go for the win?
Go for the win.
Go for the win?
Go for the win.
What do you think Coach Armentrout's doing? Is he thinking about going for the win?
Well, he's lost Gerlach and Snow because they both have to come out with injuries.
Kicker is warming up, kicks there, 15, so it looks like they're going to go ahead and put this one down and try and kick it through. I wish I could say this is easy money, right? But we've already seen one kick today from a distance around this get pulled to the left. Nice thing is here they're going to snap it right up the center, so this should be a straight kick.
And so you got a backup quarterback as your holder, though, but they're going to go for it anyway. And it's going to split the uprights and tie the game at 21 again.
Wow. Here we go. Let's play some more free football. Free 4A football. 21-21 now. I mean, the whole the whole second half, there was 1 touchdown, and now we've seen 2 in the last 4 plays.
So if you're a coach right now, do you think losing 2 players to injury, does that play into your decision as well? To go for the 1 instead of the 2, or are you just
honestly,
impressed by your defense that you think they can get back in there?
This is Coach Armentrout's first game. You'd have to have some huevos grandísimos, some chutzpah, a certain je ne sais quoi, all that stuff. Like, you got to have that times 1,000 to go for that 2 right there. Easy for you and me up here, right? I got the camera in my hand, you got the mic. Easy for us to say, yeah, go for it. But honestly, hard to do. Now, in the second time of overtime, they switch. So home team becomes away team. Palmer Ridge starts with the ball.
So Palmer Ridge with the ball again, as we just discussed. Hester's going to be in there behind under center this time. He's going to fake the handoff, swing pass over to the right side, and that's going to be caught. Gain of 3.
There's Twinsy.
As Night Train once again comes down with the football.
Good pass there, good gain. Just get some yards on that first play, right? Don't go backwards and don't get a 0.
Establish yourself, get yourself comfortable.
Now anything's on the table, right? Now you're 2nd and 6. Sure, the wind is blowing again, right? And so passing, I wouldn't tell you to go pass it. I'd tell you to give it to 21.
And Cook's in the backfield too as they get it to Cook. Over to the left side this time. Gain of maybe 2. Takes it to the 6. So they did try to get the big man the ball. 21-21 here in the overtime period. Palmer Ridge with the second possession of this overtime period this time.
Be interesting to see what kind of. That'll be interesting. Sorry to get on you there. Interesting to see what play Coach Grobe is sending in right now. This is the kind of play you better have ready to go.
Hand off to Cook. Cook's going around the left side. Nobody sees him. Cook barrels his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
21. Runs hard, runs strong, runs smart. And good call by Coach Grobe there. You got the Monument Moving Company. Maybe they're not having their best game ever. But those big boys are going D1 for a reason. And you know what? They sealed that wall. They set that edge. And 21 made it look easy because it was easy.
And Connor Cook should get credit, too, for the yards after contact on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Go for 1. Bad snap. but the kick is still up, and it is good.
Wow. Great hold. Let's get a little love for our holder there. 16 on the hold. Tell you what, that's the kind of thing. Like, the fact that you could just run a touchdown in, but to successfully kick a field goal, you have to have a snap, a hold, and a kick.
Yeah, it's so many
and then the kick
parts.
has to go through. I mean, whereas, like, you can just hand it to Connor, and he'll run it in for you, too.
So many moving parts involved in the PAT. And so with a 28-21 lead now.
4 down territory. 3's not going to cut it.
Pueblo West has their second opportunity to either tie or go for the win. But first, they got to get in the end zone.
That's the age-old question, and Brinkley has been a superstar. Brinkley has been the player of the game, if you ask me, in this entire game for both teams. The way Five has handled the ball, the way he's handled the pressure, right? You can tell he's a leader of these guys, and they follow him, and they play a lot like he plays. When he's playing tough, they're playing tough. And I'm imagining if he's having an off day, maybe they are too.
And he really put them on his back, especially the last parts of the fourth quarter, where they had short field, and he really he pressed to get that team into the end zone to give his team a lead.
Wind is picking back up. I mean, it's been the story the whole day, but no more important than right now if you start to find yourself in passing situations. Almost with the wind blowing like this, if I was the OC, I'd make sure that we're not in any passing situations.
Yeah.
I mean, the QB keeper, it's almost like when Cam Newton was at Auburn.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'd run that damn play every time too. So I'd say look for Five to keep it himself and get some extra yards. And then the one guy you got to make sure is locked down is number 7 as well. Sanchez can make you pay.
As he goes around, the pitch to the backside. And, oh, my God, they're going to score a touchdown with one play.
Get ready to find out.
Gage Martinez takes the pitch and goes around the other way.
Let's find out if this coach has got the huevos to go for 2. Oh, my goodness, what a play. I mean, just super executed. And I think we all mentioned it, too. Number 7's over there. You got to keep an eye on Sanchez, right? Well, so everyone's shifting over to his side of the field, almost a overly turned play.
Look
at this. Look at this.
Is cramping right now.
Look at this, though. Coach is meeting with some players over here.
Well, and he has to have a conversation, too, because Gage Martinez, after scoring that touchdown, has some kind of cramp in looks like his lower leg.
It looks like they're going to call a timeout here. I feel like they are really thinking about trying to end this game in one play.
Yeah,
they're trying to end this season for their opponent in one play. But you mentioned, the injury to the running back forces him to take a timeout. That way he can come back in.
Man, we're
on
otherwise
he would have had to go.
Going all in.
I tell you what, this is some
all
Texas
in on the
Hold'em.
river.
If you look over, Coach Armentrout and his boys, there are no slouches over there either. Let me just tell you, if you don't get this play, this game's over. If you do get this play, this game's over.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be here for 2 plays.
No.
We're going to be here for 1, and then the season is done.
Yeah.
Think about
Somebody
that.
goes home. Somebody goes on to next week to Erie.
Let's do this.
Erie.
Let's go.
But this is, again, here we go. Playoff football at its finest. 28-27. The Cyclones trail by 1. Overtime period. They score on their first play. Now they're going for the 2-point conversion.
Late player running in on the field.
They are trying to get their last player in. They have plenty of time on the play clock. It's 22 seconds. Everybody's stacked to the left side. Sanchez goes in motion. Handoff to Sanchez, and he's going to be stopped. Sanchez is stopped, tackled. Palmer Ridge works it out, and they win this game 28-27 in overtime.
Double overtime, unbelievable finish.
What a battle.
Who's going to tell me what I just saw? I mean, unbelievable the fact that even the Pueblo West has I love the courage involved of going for a play like that in a game like this against an opponent like Palmer Ridge. You can only go to so many overtimes against them, and you're going to run out of gas. Unbelievable effort by the Cyclones, only not to be outdone by the Palmer Ridge Bears defense. And a little trickeration there. We talked about how solid these guys have been.
Yeah.
Just calling the good old go-tos. And you know what? It just turns out that, boy, oh boy.
What a game. And these are the games where you just feel bad that one team has to win and one team has to lose, because both these teams played their hearts out. They gave us such an amazing showing today. that this is what stories are made of, is games like this.
I mean, just unbelievable. Just storybook, like you say. And there's plenty of movies where, Rocky won, that he didn't win. Rocky didn't win. And it was a great movie. It was a great story. And Pueblo West, they're not going to end up being the winners of this game. But I tell you what, in my book, Pueblo West, the Cyclones, they're winners every day. That's how winners play football.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And they did it. They did it right. And Pueblo, or Palmer Ridge, they're just happy to get the heck out of Don Breese Stadium in this breezy day with a 1-point victory. Take it and go.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't say pretty in the win column. It just says win. And what a battle these two teams gave us today.
Wow. I mean, just all the plays leading up to overtime was just this kind of gritty, grindy game, and then it got into overtime, and it was just play after play, end around, great run, one play touchdown, and then we're thinking to ourselves, is he going to go for this? Is he really going to go for 2?
Yeah.
Only to think that, he'll win if he gets it. And then it hit me. He'll lose if he doesn't. Oh, my gosh. I love the courage of the coaching staff of Pueblo West. I'm so proud of them. And the Cyclones,
they deserve so much.
I want them to go on and play next week.
Oh,
just because I love the way they play.
Yeah.
Dang.
They came out today balling. They set the tempo right away with that first possession. And, just the showing we got today, this is playoff football at its finest. This is the epitome of playoff football. Two teams going at it nose to nose, matching punch for punch. And it just took a big set, like you said, a big set of cojones to just go for it.
I am at a loss of words.
You know what?
And that's not my specialty, is not being at a loss of words.
Leave it on the field is what he did. He left it on the field, and 2 yards shy of winning it is really what it came down to.
That was one of the most enjoyable 3 hours of football I've gotten to watch in a long time.
And he put the ball in the hands of his best player.
I loved everything that happened. And it's that's Hold'em, baby. That's Texas Hold'em. That's the river. That's
going all in on the river.
Yeah, if you don't like that, go watch a musical. You know how musicals end. You know how the movie's going to end, right? But you just don't know how these games and sports are going to end. And there's plenty of times where you see it, a team that's trying to win something they've never done before. And don't get me wrong, these guys have won championships at the 3A level. They have never won at the 4A level. Last year they had a chance. They didn't do it. So for Palmer Ridge to get over this hurdle, it's going to really make them understand how important every snap is against Erie next week, and every snap is the week after that if they're lucky enough to advance and play the winner of Montrose and FFC. There are studs waiting along the way for you to try and get that 4A championship.
And if this is the way you're going to be, if this is the way the teams are going to be in this tournament, if you're Palmer Ridge, you got to go have a sit down with your team and be like, all right, boys, that was a great showing. You did great, but we have some things we need to work on.
And if you're the head coach, and I coached high school hoops, man, I've been in some big games and I've lost some big games. And this is not an easy speech to give to your guys. But I'm telling you what, if I'm that head coach, I'm going to sleep pretty good tonight knowing that I'm a badass.
Yeah.
I'm a badass, right?
Yeah.
You can tell me I made a bad decision. You can tell me this, that, and the other thing. But I'm a bad man.
Yeah.
Because
you went for it.
Yeah.
That's what
you're tough. You're not soft.
You can't expect.
There's no cancel culture.
You can't expect everything out of your boys if you're not willing to give it yourself. And that coach threw himself on that sword to say, we're going for 2.
Unbelievable finish. Other than thank you so much, Nick, for being out here, and thanks for everyone for listening.
Thank you, Coach.
Take us out of here, bud. This has been unbelievable.
There's no other way to put it. It was a battle, punch for punch. 28-27 is your final score of the second round 4A football championships and double overtime. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around with us, listening to us. We hope we gave you a good showing.
What do you say we do it again next week? Should we do it again next week?
I think we should do it again next week.
Unbelievable there.
One more time.
Just thinking to myself, we're one play away from this season being over and us not getting to call any more games, and we're one play away from us getting to call an amazing game, Palmer Ridge against Erie.
Yeah.
And so if you'll come back, I'm going to come back. We know all the viewers are going to come back. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Palmer Ridge is the 4. I think they'll get the home field.
Okay.
So let's just come back here in 1 week, set up on the Bird's Nest, hope for weather just like this with a little less fan, and have another great football game. Hey, for Nick Archuleta, I'm Coach Jeff Gersh. This is Coach GTV, and we couldn't have done it without our friends at the NFHS Network and at Palmer Ridge High School. Hats off to the Pueblo West Cyclones. That's how football's meant to be played. You didn't win the game today, but you won a fan in me, and you won a fan in Archuleta. Hats off to Palmer Ridge and the Monument Moving Company, eking out a victory. And you know what? That's all they came here to do, was get a victory today, and they did it. From Don Breese Stadium here in beautiful Monument, Colorado, we thank you so much for joining us at Coach GTV, and we're signing off until next week when we see you and the Bears against Erie.